Welcome to the finals of the Bayside Baseball Trivia Competition, San Francisco edition, where we have several baseball fans get tested on how well they know their favorite team and some other baseball history in the city. I'm your host, Kaitavia Stafford Carricker, which means I have the questions, but let's meet the folks who hopefully have the answers. So, how's it going, Matt and Brennan?
I'm good.
I'm locked in.
He's been locked in continuously. Anyways, I want to do first y'all's favorite ballpark food to start off small.
Oh, I'd probably say for me, it's, kind of a tie between Tony's pizza, among the best I've ever had, and of course one of the hallmarks of the ballpark, Gilroy garlic fries. You can't go wrong with that. So yeah, Tony's pepperoni to be specific, and Gilroy garlic fries.
Yeah, every game I go to, I always get the chicken tenders and garlic fries combo. It's probably cost me hundreds of dollars over the years, but yeah, that, and then sometimes I'll get a sundae or a hot cocoa, depending if it's a day or night game. But yeah, it's always the chicken tenders and garlic fries.
I definitely agree with your statement about that. I think that I have given hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about how much I spent on ballpark food.
Yeah.
And also, I love those garlic fries, but it just be stuck in, trying to speak to somebody next to you. So I'm like, I just hope they don't catch this Gilroy garlic on my breath.
Exactly. They used to give out mints along with the garlic fries, but I think after COVID, they did away with that.
One more question for y'all, since you're our finalists. What's your first Giants memory?
For me, I think it's really hard for me to come up with the first one because I probably didn't really catch on with the Giants, following them very closely until kind of later on in life. But probably my earliest memory, although it was very indirect because I had no idea at the time, is probably the fact that I was supposed to be born on the day of Loma Prieta, but I was born a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks or so prior to that. And, I only know that because my mom, who was on a cross-country phone call with somebody in Maine, the earthquake started, and then she was kind of in a panic mode, and her friend told her to, because I was sitting on the table, she told me to, my mom's friend told my mom to drop the phone, grab a hold of me, and we ducked under the table, and then stayed there until the shaking stopped. So, I guess little did I know that my ties to the Giants happened, while I was only literally a few days old. So that's probably the first indirect memory I have with the Giants.
From birth.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a bit younger than Matt, but my first one would be watching the Giants win the 2010 World Series with my whole family in the living room. And it was a big deal to me because we didn't have cable. We could only get the local news channels, but they were airing the Giants game. And all I cared about was that the players jumped over the dugout fence, and I thought that was really cool. Except my brother noticed it and I didn't, and then I got really sad when my parents wouldn't rewind so I could see it again.
Lovely memories. Nobody was injured in that one, right?
No.
I feel like recently, I don't know if y'all seen it, but everybody's been getting injured celebrating. I'm like, y'all need to stop celebrating.
Jeff Samardzija ended Mike Morse's career.
Yeah. He ended whose?
Mike Morse's career because they ran into each other and Morse was concussed and he never played again.
Yeah, that was the Bryce Harper brawl.
That was Hunter Strickland. That was Harper.
Jeff Samardzija.
Aubrey Huff got hurt jumping over the fence during that game's perfect game.
Turns out.
Oh,
wow. No shade, turns out it was God.
Yeah.
Karma's a bitch.
Anyway, so y'all have both played the game before. Since you're coming off the semifinals wins and you're one victory away from winning the whole competition, now with only 2 competitors, things are going to get even more difficult. But I'm sure y'all have the ability to stand up to it. Without further ado, let's jump into our first round with the game we call Milestone Bank. The way it works is simple. I'm gonna read an achievement that many players have achieved during their careers, and you will take turns naming players who play for the Giants at some point in their careers and achieve that milestone. We're gonna start with you, Matthew, and then Brennan. And then you will only name one player at a time. If that player did not achieve that milestone, you can no longer answer the question. Not many Giants have ever won an MVP, but even fewer have won a Cy Young Award. In fact, only 13 players have ever both played for the Giants at some point in their career and won a Cy Young. How many can you name? Each correct answer is worth 2 points. We're going to start with you, Matthew.
Tim Lincecum.
Correct.
Mike McCormick.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Sorry.
Um,
10 seconds.
Kevin Gossman.
Incorrect.
Okay. Vida Blue.
Correct.
Gaylord Perry.
Correct.
Jake Peavy.
Correct.
Steve Carlton.
Correct. 10 seconds.
Carl Hubble.
Cyan wasn't around yet.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Other names: Warren Spahn, Steve Stone, Randy Johnson, Barry Zito, Steve Bedrosian, Oral Hershiser, Mark Davis.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to round 2. Before we do, we're going to check in on our scores. Matthew has 2 points, and Brennan has 10 points. Players now have their buzzers and can buzz in at any point while I'm asking a question. There's no penalties for wrong answers, but if you buzz in early, I will not finish reading the question until you have answered. Each correct answer is worth 2 points. Ready for me to start?
Yes.
Okay. After finding himself struggling to find playing time with the New York Yankees, this infielder was traded to the Giants for just cash considerations.
Brennan.
Tyro Estrada.
Correct.
There aren't many people who can say they have played for both the San Francisco Giants and the San Francisco 49ers. In fact, there's only one. While he may not have been exceptional in the diamond, as he was a lockdown corner in the NFL, but this player had a productive short stint as a Giants center fielder in 1995. Who was this player?
Calvin Murray.
Incorrect. Maybe 10 seconds. Please.
Deion Sanders.
Correct.
Wow, prime time, baby!
That's, yeah.
The San Francisco Giants may not have won a World Series until 2010, but that does not mean they did not have their fair share of pennant victories. Between the Giants' World Series appearances in 2014, 2012, 2010, 2000, and 1989, how many current members of the Hall of Fame were on those rosters?
You said 2000, 2002.
Sorry.
6.
Incorrect.
Three.
0.
The trick question mark.
Yeah.
In 1911, a young infielder began to showcase his talents with the San Francisco Seals. The switch hitter would soon join the Chicago White Sox, where he became a core piece for the next 9 seasons. In 1919, however, this player would get caught in the crossfire.
Shoeless Joe Jackson.
Incorrect.
He would get caught in the crossfire of the Black Sox scandal and be banned from the MLB for life. He would later be played by John Cusack in the movie 8 Men Out. Who was this player?
Got him.
Oh.
Buck Weaver.
Not in my mind.
They said it was going to get difficult. Mark ain't lie.
Yeah, well,
Ball don't lie.
hopefully my history of baseball professor won't be too hard for not getting that one.
He was never known as a home run hitter despite playing a position that traditionally hits for a lot of power. Despite the wars that surrounded him, this player is the current Giants home run leader among active players in 2023. Who is this player?
Brandon Belt.
Correct.
Sheesh.
The Belt Wars.
Bell
yeah.
Wars.
The first player to hit for the cycle after the Giants moved to San Francisco may not be who you would expect. This slugger, who spent most of his career playing third base, may not have ended up one of the franchise's biggest icons, but had been a top prospect many thought was on that trajectory. Despite struggles with injuries throughout his career, this player spent 11 seasons with the Giants, finishing second in the 1964 NL Rookie of the Year race and receiving an All-Star selection in 1966. He finished his playing career with the New York Yankees. This North Carolina native with 3 one-syllable names will return to the Bay Area.
Jim Ray Hart.
Correct.
This dominant left-handed pitcher is one of the greatest pitchers of all time. While nobody will think of him in a Giants uniform, he is the most recent member of the Baseball Hall of Fame to play for the Giants.
It was Randy Johnson.
Correct.
Okay.
2 Giants hitters blasted at least 20 home runs with the Giants during the 2010 season. Aubrey Huff led the team with 26 round trippers. Which infielder, whose father also played for the Giants, finished second on the team?
Juan Uribe.
Correct.
All right. At the end of round 2, we have Matthew with 6 points and Brennan with 18 points. Our fact checker, Mark, is going to come by and hand each of y'all a 2x2 grid. You're going to have some time to fill out the Venn diagram between the two categories, and each box that has a correct answer is worth 2 points. All right, let's see everyone's answers. Matthew, do you mind sharing your grid first?
Okay. So for Reds and then 2002 Giants, I said Rich Aurelia. Then Reds 20+ home run season, Joey Votto. 20+ stolen base season, 2002 Giants, I said Kenny Lofton. And then 20+ stolen base, 20+ home run season, I said Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, I had almost the exact same one as Matt. 2002 Giants and Reds, Rich Aurelia. Reds 20 homers, Joey Votto. 20 steals, 2002 Giants, Kenny Lofton. And then for 20 steal, 20 homer season, I had Alfonso Soriano.
So now moving on to the finals, we have Brennan with 26 points and Matthew with 14. They both cleared the board and had a completely perfect grid, as expected. You know, they're here in the finals. So now, remembering the scores from the previous rounds remain, but there's plenty of points that you can get now. We're going to do our final round and start it with a simple name game. We're going to select a team in San Francisco Giants history, and each of you will take turns naming players that appeared on that team until you answer incorrectly. Each correct answer is worth 1 point. And let's see. Brandon, because you have the higher score, you're able to pick the century, 20th or 21st.
I'm going to go crazy here and say 21st century.
Bold choice. Since you have the lower score, Matthew, we're going to start with you, and then we're going to go back and forth until, there's incorrect answers.
All right.
Okay.
Logan Webb.
Buster Posey.
Correct.
Lamont Wade Jr.
Correct.
Brandon Crawford.
Correct.
Brandon Belt.
Correct.
Evan Longoria.
Correct.
Chris Bryant.
Correct.
Donovan Solano.
Correct.
Mike Yastrzemski.
Correct.
Austin Slater.
Correct.
Darren Ruff.
Correct.
Johnny Cueto.
Correct.
Kevin Gossman.
Correct.
Aaron Sanchez.
Correct.
Anthony DeSclafani.
Correct.
Kirk Casale.
Correct.
Alex Wood.
Correct.
Chadwick Trump.
Correct.
Camilo Doval.
Correct.
Jake McGee.
Correct.
Tyler Rogers.
Correct.
Jason Bosler.
Correct. 10 seconds.
Let's see. Dominic Leone.
Correct.
Caleb Berriger.
Correct.
John Brebbia.
Correct.
James Sherfy.
Correct.
Bonkers.
10.
Oh, jeez.
Give me a name.
Yeah,
call it.
Ramos, yeah, no.
All right. Tyler Chatwood.
Correct.
Connor Menez.
Correct.
Mike Talkman.
Correct.
Sky Bolt.
Correct.
Nick Tropiano.
Correct.
Sam Selman.
Correct.
Reyes Maranta,
Correct.
Tyler Beatty,
Jesus Christ.
Correct.
Steven Duggar,
Correct.
Tommy LaStella. Did we get him?
No, you didn't. Correct.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
So you almost named the whole roster.
Yeah, pretty much. We had like 60-something players that year.
So now, as a score stand, we have Matthew with 27 points and Brennan has 47 points. As you can see, they named pretty much most of the roster. But we have one more final round. Each of you will receive 4 rapid-fire questions that you will have 5 seconds to answer. They're going to increase in difficulty. The first question is worth 1 point, the second 2, the third 3, the fourth 4. All right. So, Matthew, because you're a little bit behind, I know you tried really hard. With anybody else, you would have killed them. But we're going to have you start first. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Who was the last Giants player to win the World Series MVP?
Madison Bumgarner.
Correct.
Who did former Giants closer Brian Wilson strike out to win the 2010 World Series?
Nelson Cruz.
Correct.
Which future Giants outfielder hit a walk-off grand slam in the final game of the 2004 regular season to eliminate the Giants from the playoffs?
Steve Finley.
Correct.
Don't doubt yourself. What player did the Giants receive from the Mets when they traded Willie Mays?
Pass.
Charlie Williams.
Giants traded Willie Mays.
All right. Brennan, are you ready?
Yes.
Who was the last Giants player to win Rookie of the Year?
Buster Posey.
Correct.
Who did Giants closer Sergio Romo strike out to win the 2012 World Series?
Miguel Cabrera.
Correct.
Which Giants reliever gave up a go-ahead single to Javier Baez in the top of the 9th inning during Game 4 of the 2016 NLDS against the Cubs?
Hunter Strickland.
Correct.
Who did the Giants trade to the Dodgers in the last player-for-player trade between the two organizations?
Dan Ortmeyer.
Incorrect. Mark Sweeney.
All right, so at the end of our game, we have Matthew with 33 points and our champion, Brandon, with 53 points, which makes him the winner of today's game and the tournament champion. Y'all might not know this, but he's quite young and kind of younger than most of the tournament, or no, he is younger than all the tournament people, including myself, so it's pretty impressive that he has this much baseball knowledge. So, shout out to Brennan, and thank you so much for playing, both of y'all and everybody else who played, and thank you to everybody at home for watching. Please like this and subscribe if you enjoyed watching it today, and maybe even join the Bayside Baseball Patreon to support more independent work. Thank you so much.